Welcome back. Now, Tech Connect Africa is a global social enterprise whose mission is to unify the global African diaspora and build a future of tech that embodies our culture, connection and community. The upcoming Tech Summit and networking events will be held throughout December in Johannesburg, Lagos, Accra and Nairobi, and will reflect the organization's deep-rooted connection to the African culture and its desire to provide a platform for the diaspora and celebrate and collaborate. Now, to tell us more, we're joined in studio. With me is production coordinator at Tech Connect Africa, Kwabena Poku Appiah, as well as Tech Connect co-founder Jeminatu Alabi-Isama. She's on virtually with us. I want to start with you, ma'am. Tell us about, Tech Connect Africa and how the concept came about.
Yes, it came about a few years ago when I started noticing, I'd always I'm half Ghanaian, half Nigerian. So I'd always go to the continent for Christmas, spend some time in Lagos and Accra. And I felt there must be more techies like me that are also doing the same thing. So I just sent a call out to, WhatsApp groups and my personal networks, who's around from different tech companies. Let's get together, let's foster and create a relationship, let's network. And it blew up. And that's how we started. Mm-hmm. And so we took it a step further and decided to include other tech companies as well, and other tech enthusiasts and young professionals to join us. And now we're officially Tech Connect Africa. And this is technically our third year really doing this and spreading it across the continent.
Mm-hmm. Kwabena, what has been the general uptake, when you start with this idea and, it's a risk,
right?
Whether they will take it on or whether they'll accept this idea. What's been the general response?
Well, it's been accepted generally, especially from people from the diaspora, because they realized that we needed to create community. Community is very essential in everything that you're trying to build or create. And in a quest to build a tech ecosystem that embodies our culture as Africans, they saw the need to actually come together and support in every way they can to make this happen. So,
and how do you do that? How do you build a tech support that embodies those cultures because there's so many different cultures?
So basically what we do is we put together our events, right? So we focus on each region and like the culture or the vibe that goes with that region.
Okay.
So, I'm from Ghana, like she's from Nigeria. There are Nigerians that attend the Ghana culture. The Ghanaians also attend the Nigerian events and stuff like that. So in so doing, we exchange and stuff like that, right? So we build each other in that form culturally, right? And especially people that are coming from big tech, especially, they have been exposed to the Western side of the culture and stuff like that. So when they bring that knowledge back home, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Jeminatu, what kind of, technological innovations have you seen come out of the different communities?
We're seeing people become co-founders, not only highlighting the work that they're doing in their existing companies, but we're seeing those, AI is a big buzzword this year. But we're starting to notice there are diasporans who work in these companies that are leading AI innovations around ed tech, around the beauty industry, surprisingly, around fintech, especially because, the diaspora sends remittances back home. So you'd be surprised who's at the helm at a lot of these AI-enabled startups that we're starting to see attend our events, network with us, even through our WhatsApp groups. So it's really nice to see some of the innovations come out along those lines with the different industries. There's a diasporan always at the helm.
So talk to us about the different process that involves synchronizing the different regions, Lagos, Accra, and South Africa.
Well, like I explained earlier, each vibe is different.
Yeah.
Each culture is different. But then when you get into the system, you realize that we are actually similar people.
Okay.
So it's not very hard. Like we've done Nigeria, we've done Kigali, Rwanda, we've done Accra. This is the first time in Joburg. And this is my first time here, but having conversations and trying to build this thing together, I realized that we are actually the same people, the same kind of conversations, the same kind of spirit, that we need to come together and use to build this thing that we're doing right now.
And what does Joburg promise, to have for us?
I mean, with the Joburg event, you never know who you might meet.
Okay.
That's one thing. You never know who might be coming through, There's big tech here. There's a lot of big tech companies. Even in the markets that are not as big, we've seen great people coming through. So anybody that's going to come through the Joburg event, you should expect greater things. You should expect to meet the people that you least expected to meet, like on the regular day. Like she was saying, your next co-founder, your next CEO, you never know who you might run into. So yeah, it's going to be great.
Jeminatu, speak to us about how you've grown over the past couple of years and how you've had to innovate and adapt because, technology does change over and over again.
So when we first started, it was a small group, 100 people from big tech companies, right? And we started noticing other local tech companies and startups were interested, or people that weren't necessarily used to going to the continent for December holidays. They said, can I come with Tech Connect? And so it started a wave, and people were really excited and planning for their year ahead with all the events we would do throughout the year. We'd do pop-ups in Canada, pop-ups in the US. We went to Kigali, UK, and all roads lead to Tech Connect events in December. So we kind of started a movement of saying, hey, if you're in tech and you're from the diaspora, the African diaspora, all roads in December lead to Tech Connect. You never know who you're gonna meet. This year, like I mentioned earlier, AI is a big theme. Our theme for our 4 events is uniting the diaspora through AI innovation. Come share what you're working on. We're celebrating African excellence, and we're growing on socials. We're growing in our networks in our different home countries, abroad and locally. And we get so many emails and interest for people to just volunteer and share and get their businesses in front of the diasporans that are gonna be at the event. I know in Joburg this week and next week, everyone's in, not only Joburg, but even in Cape Town, everybody's in town for various tech events. And so we're saying, hey, before you leave, come network at Tech Connect Africa in Joburg and make sure that we connect the diaspora, local techies, and big tech together.
Kwabena, how do people get a hold of tickets?
You go on our website, www.techconnectafrica.com, and also check out our social media handles. On Instagram at Tech Connect Africa. You can get tickets there.
All right. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Also on the internet is, of course, one of the organizers. She's actually there. She is talking to us. Well, in studio, in fact, is Kwabena Poku Appiah. And then on the co-founder, Jeminatu Alabi-Isama, talking to us about Tech Connect Africa's event, which takes place on the 7th of December in Johannesburg. And we'll also visit Nairobi, Lagos, and Accra under the theme Unifying the African Diaspora through AI Innovation.